What's cracking, mi gente? This your boy D once again, ready to come by some share some love and a little bit of knowledge. Today, I got the case you guys been waiting on. The case you guys have been asking me if it has been worth the wait, will it be worth the wait? And here it is, the breakdown of who Edwin Ramos was and what transpired that led to the triple homicide that took place, that he pled not guilty but was found guilty by the jurors. So with that being said, let's not longer hold on to this and let's get into this topic, man. As you guys know, please don't forget to hit that like, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and more overall, leave that comment. I'll get back at you guys as soon as I can. We're gonna try to record this with the new setup that we have. So with that being said, let's get it, man. So, who was Edwin Ramos? Who was Popeyes? So I'm gonna give you guys, in order for you two guys to understand who he was, who the person that he is, you guys gotta understand a little bit of his background, where he come from, and then we're gonna go dive into who Popeyes, the character that MS-13 Gamer was, right? So Edwin Ramos, as you guys know, is a Salvadoran born. He was born in El Salvador. He came here when he was very young. They brought him here. His parents brought him here very young. He wasn't always as what people describe him as violence. No, he wasn't always like that. He had a little mellow down, easygoing type of attitude. He was easy to get along, easy to talk to. And he was a ladies' man. That's what he was known for. He was a ladies' man. So when he came here, of course, as you guys know, many immigrants don't speak Spanish. So he went to what they call here in San Francisco the newcomer school. And the newcomer, that's like people new coming into the United States. So that's why they call it newcomers. They come from different worlds. They come from different countries, continents. You have Chinese there, you have Russians, you have Italians, you have Latinos from Mexico, Latinos from El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, all that, right? So with that being said, bear that in mind, okay? So Edwin Ramos was your typically guy that would go to school, hang out with people, and it's a given. When you are Latino and you hear other people speak Spanish, the language you are known for, and you only know how to speak, you're gonna attract yourself to those type of people because you're gonna feel like you can fit in with them since they speak the same language you do. And that Edwin was no exception. He was drawn to a little group of people that, without him knowing, were known gang members or wannabe gang members. Because some of them wasn't actually jumped into the hood. They were just wanted to be from the neighborhood. Unfortunately for him, or fortunately for him, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, he was drawn to that group and he started becoming friends with a lot of them. And they happened to be from the neighborhood of MS-13 that he had heard only about when he was in El Salvador. He was no part. He didn't. His intention was not here to come to this country and basically enjoy a game. No, his intention was to come here, trying to become a better person and basically build a reputation for himself as a working man. But as you guys know, sometimes what we want might not be what the destiny have in bed for us. So he started hanging out with those guys. They took him to the neighborhood to 20th Street, the Mission, and back then he come from a modern family. They weren't rich, but they wasn't poor either. So, but they couldn't afford the computer. So when he got to the neighborhood 20 and Little Park in Valencia was known for having those extra computers where you can go and kick it and have fun with. So he started hanging out with these guys. Big Spooky, a Snoopy, you have Slow Pain, you have Soldado, you have variety of dudes. Mind you, his family have family in LA. He went to LA when he first came to the United States, but because he started associating himself with gang members, and they were always picking on him. The 18s, the mom decided to bring him over here. So he knew what MS was, so he came over here. Now, a lot of people he has said that he was from Pasadena's, that he had got jumped into Pasadena's, and then he had come to 20th Street. But you guys don't know what transpired or what made him go and do that. There's a case and there's something that transpired within the clique, within the neighborhood of 20th Street, that made him had to leave 20th Street before he could get jumped in. So when he started hanging out around, unfortunately for him, that was around Tigre's era, Memo's era, and the Cholito's era. Okay, so Tigre, Ivan Serna, and Memo, rest in peace, were known for slapping homies. It was a known thing for them. They used to line little homies up and then sock them up. They wouldn't even punch them, they would slap them up. And the reason why they used to do that was to make the homies tougher, to make them fight back. A lot of homeboys didn't agree with the approach because they felt like you can't slap a homie because one, they know you're the ramflero, you're the shot caller for that clique. And they're not homeboys. So if you put hands on them, you could either lose your life or you could lose your career. Two, you had the power to call in anybody else that were younger around those people's age and have them jump, or you could jump them and nobody was gonna do nothing. So, and there was multiple other reasons why people never really reacted towards them. But the main reason was like they didn't trying to lose their life. They were trying to be from the hood, but they weren't trying to lose their life. And keep this in mind. Be aware of this situation. Because when I tell Memo's story, it's gonna go back to those slaps. Okay? So keep that in mind. Be aware of what I'm saying when Memo used to line homies up and slap them. Be aware of that because that situation has something to do with how Memo ended up getting killed later on down the road. I will give you guys this case after this one, okay? So there were homeboys that didn't like that, and they used to tell Tigre and they used to tell Memo, hey, you guys shouldn't be doing that, bro. You guys should be a little bit more easy on the little homies. They're trying to start, they're trying to be homeboys, they're trying to establish something for themselves, and you guys are denigrating, you guys are putting them down when you know them fools can answer. And they're answer back to them and be like, they can answer, they can say what's up, fool, they can get it on. But it was a lie. Nobody was gonna answer somebody like that. Nobody was gonna punch him because they know the consequence of it. And then man, they had the rules. Homeboys wouldn't pull out on the homeboys, meaning if you're not a homeboy, jump through homeboy, you cannot touch one of our members because we will demolish you. Two, if you are a homeboy and the homeboy sock you out for whatever reason and you pulled out a weapon on him and threw his life, your career is over with. So those are rules that we have implemented within the hood as well because there were MS rules. Mind you, they know who they did that to. Memo, Tigre, and something there will be some other dudes. They know who they did that to. Fortunately for me, I was the nephew of one of the founders for the clique. So either because of that, they didn't never slap me, or either because they kind of know my reaction to it, and they know that me and Sloping were always rocking with each other. But I think it had to do with my uncle being one of the older founders, members of that clique, that they didn't cross that line. I pretty much think that was the reason, which it sucks because I never wanted a favoritism. I never wanted a leg up in the hood. And that was one of the reasons why when I chose my name, I told them before you guys baptized me, I do not want to be little. I do not want to be little so, little who. No, I want to be, my name has to come that fits me, and it has to be my own name because I'm going to create my legacy. I don't want you guys to put my uncle's name or my cousin's name older uncle from LA name, put Little behind it. I didn't want to be known as that because then here's the issue: when you have a Little under the name, you always gonna trying to live up to the standards of the homeboy because they're always gonna tell you, "Oh, you saw Little Soho? Yeah. Oh, that fool's a beast, fool. What you have done to keep up that legacy? Ooh, ooh." So if I was named Little Pee Wee and the homie Pee Wee was doing his thing and not letting live up to it, then they will always throw that in my face. Or let's say he messed up, and then because I was Little Pee Wee, I still get the end of the stick. And see, you gotta remember, when I came into the hood, they still had the hood. The hood is still had, like, if you wanted to be a little to anybody's name, you had to get down with the homie. You feel me? You had to get down for the homie, and then the homie had to take you to a couple trips to see if you have what it takes for you to carry his name. And I didn't wanna go through that. Plus, the names my uncle had, with all the respect I love him today, is they were not my favorites at all. So I chose to remain me. I chose to do me because I didn't see it fitting for me. Okay, so Popeyes was known for that. So when the first incident happened, it was Popeyes, the homie Warrior, myself, RP Spider, Little Spooky, and Little Snoopy were there, right? We were there, and these fools, we were like sitting outside the basketball field and in front of the soccer field, because in Little Park in 18 in Valencia, what we call Little Park, there have is basketballs right behind the bathrooms, and then in front of it, we had a soccer field. I showed that to you guys when I first did my live. So we used to post up right there in a little sitting. There was like a little step, and we used to post up right there because we always had access. If the police would come from the back, we could run up front, and they would come from the front, we could run from the back. So we always used to sit in the middle. So when Tigre and them used to come up, a lot of homies used to lock up. Like, you can feel the muscles lock up because they knew that they were gonna do the little round, stupid round, line up homies, slap him, hit him, punch him, hit him right square in the chest or whatever, or they would pocket check him. That was just their bully tactics. That's what it was. It was straight bully tactics. There's no way to other way to put it, but it was bully tactics. So the first time they hit the homie Edwin Popeyes, he swung back, but he didn't catch Tigre. And Memo socked him up, and they jumped and beat him up. But he got up after he got beat up. He got up and told them, "Fool, you're not gonna treat me like a straight level, fool. You're not finna keep hitting me. I'm gonna fuck you up." So, and then there was another person that later on became a northerner named Brasil that did the same thing. They told Memo the last time, "Fool, if you ever touch my face again, I'ma kill you." So keep in mind that name, Brazil. So he come to us, Popeyes come to us and goes like, "Hey, homeboy, like, check it out, fool. Talk to your uncle, let him know that this shit is getting out of pocket, la la la. That if next time that fool put his hands on me, I'm gonna stab him." So I bring it up to my uncle and I'm like, "Hey, look, you need to go talk to your homeboys, man. You need to, like, either lay the law down, let's put a stop to it, or allow us, the younger generation coming up, to do what we have to do. If we got a fierro, we're gonna poke the homeboys." And he's like, "I can't allow you guys to poke the homeboy because you guys are not homeboy, but then you gotta put a stop to it." Well, my uncle said, "I'm gonna talk to them, see what happens." That talk never either come, or if they did talk, there was never a righteous outcome. So about a week, 2 weeks later, when Papa was sitting with us, here comes fucking Tigre and here comes Memo. So once Tigre sucks up the first two homies, they leave holding their chest, holding their face, not doing nothing. Then Tigre goes up to fucking Popeyes and tells Popeye, "What's up, fool? You want to run the back?" And Papa was like, "I'm telling you, fool, I'm not finna be fighting with you. You're a grown ass man, bro. I'm only 13 years old. You're a grown ass man." So Tigre took it like he was just weak. So he slapped him, bow. Open hand slaps Popeyes. Popeye's pulled out a 38 and shoots Tigre right on the fucking knee. Hit Tigre right on the knee, shot that fool. And he's like, what the fuck? So when Tigre gets shot, you hear the shot is loud, and then Tigre just bend over like, screaming, yelling, holding his leg, his fucking leg. And then Popeye's, like, you could see in his eye he was done. Like, he was more there than here. Like, his mind was made up. I'm gonna kill this fool. When he approached Tigre, he was pulling the gun right through Tigre's head, and he was like, I'm gonna kill you, fool. You think I'm gonna suck? I'm gonna kill you. So he didn't take him serious, but we did. We knew how Popeyes was. That when Popeyes get mad, he used to get like blindsided, like he will black out. So we grab Popeyes like, hey fool, you can do that, fool. You can shoot the homie, dog. You're not a homeboy. You're gonna get in trouble. So we tell him to go. So Popeyes lives. That is the reason why Papa goes to Pasadena. Because he was supposed to get jumped into the hood a week prior to that, but he couldn't get jumped in due to a situation that happened that didn't allow us to jump in the people that we had set up for that night. So Popeyes goes to LA to where his family is from, and he gets along with, he said, get along with Flaco, he gets along with Lonely Boy, he gets along with a lot of homies from Pasadena that he knows from his years prior to working with them. So he knows that he's done here in 20th Street. He knows that if he comes back, the homeboys are gonna dome him. Because he pulled a weapon out on a homeboy, he shot a homeboy while he was not a homeboy, which was violation of one of the rules. So Popeyes decides that the only way he can get safe is if it goes to either one of LA cliques, get jumped in, and then come back claiming another clique, because then it will force our 20th Street hands, for us to go through the proper channels to get at him, if we need to get at him, if you guys know what I mean. So Popeye's not stupid. He's always been smart in the head. So he does that. He gets jumped into Pasadena's. Pasadena's jumped him in because they know the type of reputation he had. And they know the caliber of guy they just got him. Literally, they know that they have a hitter on their hands and that fool's going to do major damage to whatever they put him to beef with. So Pasadena goes psycho from Pasadena's, who had the Rampla at the time, was sleepy. They go, hell yeah, bring that fool in. They jumped him in. A month passed by. Tigre's pissed off. He's looking for him. He don't know where he's at. We know he's in Pasadena, but we ain't telling him. Fuck him. He deserved that. To our eyes, he deserved that and more. Fuck him. Fuck both of them. That's what we're looking at. Not talking Elo of the dead because Memo's no longer here with us, but they were like, fuck him too. Because that was just bully tactics that they were implementing, and shit, we didn't like that. A lot of people didn't like that. So when Popeyes come back on the trip, the Pasadena takes down around 2002, 2001. Popeyes comes back, and he goes and introduces himself as Popeye from PLS. So when he introduced himself as that to all the homeboys that don't know Popeye because he's been gone for 4 months, they're like, oh, mucho gusto. But once he come up to me, he's like, Popeye's from PLS. I'm like, I looked at the phone, like, what do you mean from PLS? What the fuck you talking about, fool? What the fuck are you doing here? He's like, hey, I'm from Pasadena's now, fool. I'm from Pasa. I'm like, you from what? He's like, yeah, I'm from Pasas, fool. Like, there's no way you can be from Pasas, dog. Like, do they know the problem you have here that you have to fix? They're like, yeah, that's why I got jumped into Pasa. So he tell us the reason why he did it. He's like, my heart is here in the 20th Street, but I needed to do what I needed to do. So we're like, bro, but what guarantees that these fools are gonna even stop to ask Pasas for what you did to the homeboy? Like, bro, that's not, you know how Tigre is, because we all know how Tigre was. Tigre was a fucking bully. So we were like, what gives it this fool said fuck it to Psycho and sleep and just decide to dome you, fool? He's like, nah, he's not gonna do that, I guess. Well, we didn't know, I guess. Sleeping Psycho had already talked to Tigre, like, we're gonna bring this fool up, we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna come to an agreement to what we're gonna do. But they didn't tell Popeye that. So when Tigre pulls up with the Cayman and a lot of his little followers pulled up with him, we have all the homies there. So they pulled us up and they're basically telling us they're not gonna give up Popeyes. Because Tigre's like, hey, you guys is ready to give me up this food because I'm a dummy. Psycho tells him, nah, homie, you said to bring him here so we can talk and find a solution. And Tigre's the goes like, man, there's no fucking solution. This fool kneecapped me, homie. That fool fucked up my knee. He kneecapped me, homie. This fool, and there's no talking. He wasn't a homeboy when he shot me. And he would run to you guys to get jumped into you guys because he knew the consequence that he was going to be bringing. But still, the homo psycho's like, nah. Psycho's like, I'm not letting you have the homeboy, dog. They have already seen the type of caliber of an animal, beast, as what we call a bestia, that they had in Popeye. Popeye was no joke. Popeye used to put in work. Popeye was no sucker. And you guys had to remember that Popeye was no sucker, man. So, Sleepy tells them, hey, you guys gotta understand, we didn't come here to give up one of the homeboys. We came here to find a solution to the problem. So they're not willing to let it go. So Psycho from my neighborhood, Psycho from 20, jumped in the conversation and goes, look, check it out, homie. He tells Tigre, you had that coming and more, dog. We've been telling you guys in fucking memo to stop slapping homies, to stop doing that shit. You guys been doing it. You guys have run solid ass homeboys off the neighborhood just because of your testing fucking method, and we haven't got nowhere. So I think the homo is incorrect not to give that fool. That fool's a good soldado. We just lost a good soldado to you guys' stupidity. So they laser him fucking. Tigre doesn't like this. Like was talking to him, so he's like, man, I don't give a fuck. This is my clique until I'm dead. This is gonna be my barrio, my rules, my way. Well, so Psycho was like, let's put it up to a vote. Fuck it. Whatever the house said, the house do. You guys have to respect it. Tigre, he's confident enough that he think he has enough followers and enough people that fear him that he can get the vote for them fools to turn over the homies. So Pasak was like, yeah, let's do a vote. What he didn't know was that there was a lot of people that didn't like the way that shit had went down and didn't agree with him at all. But they didn't say it to his face. We kept it to our own self. But there was a lot of people in that neighborhood at that time that did not agree with fucking Tigre's bullshit. And when they put it up for a vote, Psycho knew at that moment that Tigre was gonna lose because there was a lot of homeboys there that didn't like the shit that Tigre had done. So they put it up for a vote. All the majority of homies, it was like about 50, 60 of us. I want to say about 38, 39 of us said chales, that we're not giving the homeboy up. And the rest said yes, let's give it to fucking Tigre. And to push the fucking mystery off that fool more and the homos to take advantage of the momentum, Popeye's proposed like, fuck it. He could choose a dude that he wants, and I could get off on this fool and fight. Let me come back to 20 because that's where my heart is at. I want to be from 20. Tigre's like, fuck, nah, hell nah, you never will be before 20. You not ever gonna disrespect me like that. I would never allow that shit to happen. You over my dead fucking body, you're never gonna become from 20. So Psycho plays straight to fucking Tigre's ego. Because we all know how Tigre is. He think himself as a guy. He think he's a big old valeverguista. So he's like, oh, fool, you scared that none of your soldiers can do anything to that little kid, fool? Mind you, Popeye at that time was not big. Probably he was a little bit 135 sucking wet, maybe. And Tigre had a couple dudes that used to go to the gym that were 18, 19. Papa was still young. Papa was like 14, 15. So he's like, nah. So they choose that bitch ass fool fucking Goofy bitch ass. Goofy gets on because he was a big boy. So they think that Goofy can knock fucking Popeye out. So they put Goofy. And the crazy part is after the fight, Goofy became Papa's cuñado. Popeye got a kid with Goofy's sister. Goofy's older sister is Popeye's baby mama. If you guys didn't know, they have a little girl with them. That's the crazy part. So They start fighting. Popeyes know he can now overtake this fool because this fool's like a big ass little bully, like a tank. He just rushes and starts swinging. It's like a little big ass tank just swinging. We trying to tell Popeye fool, step to the side, stop letting that fool grab you, because he kept grabbing him, slamming him, and just getting on top of him, punching. The second time he trying to do it, I'm like, bro, fuck that fool face up. The ears, man, hit that fool in the ears. Every time he would rush and try to get him, you have to just swing at that fool's ear, just demolish that fool's head, just let him have it. That's the best way you can do. When somebody trying to rush you with his head down and they grab you because they know they're bigger than you, they're trying to slam you down. Your best choice and your best bet is to just rain blows on that fool's head. Just bang it out. Because he's going to let go eventually. But you got to hit him with everything you can, man. So finally, Popeye sidestepped him and catch him with a good one. Just boom, knocks him out. I don't know how he did that. That was the only punch he had on him, because he sidestepped him and just got it. Right when that fool was going like this, got him right on the chin, put that fool to sleep. So Popeyes is still gonna go through the trials and tribulations, because I know Tigre's gonna put him through, but now he comes back to where he always belonged, to the strength tree. That's why people always said Popeye was no. Popeye got jumped. He was going to be from 20 if the incident didn't happen. But he left to Pasadena, got jumped into Pasadena, then came back home where he belonged, to the Troy Street. Then he got jumped into the Doves. Because we all knew what Popeyes was. So fast forward a couple years later, Papa's out there doing his thing. He gets busted for assault with a deadly weapon. Him and the homeboy Sombras beat up somebody in Dolores Park, and then he get caught for a pistol. That he gets sent to the ranch. Then later on, he gets caught again when he was around 19 for a gun and some dope. They put him on probation. So that's who Popeye was. Popeye was quiet, but Popeye was a hitter. Papa was always putting in work. That fool used to just be like, I'm gonna go, I gotta go and put in his work. But he was quiet though about it. That's the thing, he was always quiet. He will always be either with Lonely Boy from Pasadena or with Flaco from Pasadena, his co-defender. Or he would be one of the homeboys for 20, but he had a little clique that he didn't literally let a lot of people into it. So what transpired that night of the shooting, so now I gave you guys that back on who Popeye was. Yes, Popeye was violent. Yes, Popeye liked putting in the work and everything. But one thing Popeyes had that a lot of people don't understand is that Popeyes would never shoot up people that were innocent. Popeyes never was the type of individual that he see a red jersey and that fool and automatically think you were an order and shot you or stabbed you. That was not Popeyes. He will get out the car, confront you, and then things will go for there. Because I seen him done that many times. So when that case came up that he said that they were firing from the car, that don't sound like him. Now, before I get to this case, the Bologna case, I want to say something so people don't misunderstand what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the facts of the case, the knowledge that I had that was internal knowledge, and I'm going to talk about where he is and why he became that way. We all know Popeye turned a snitch and got on the stand and do all of that stuff. We know that. That's a fact. But what you guys need to understand is that before he turned a rat, before he collaborated with the police and the county, a couple other things happened that led for him to believe that the homeboys didn't have the best interest in him in mind for him. So I'm gonna get into that, okay? But before I get into the Bologna case, I wanna make sure you guys understand this. By me describing the facts and giving the contents and having read the paper and seen the pictures and everything, because I was with Popeye in the county, I don't want this video to land to the Bologna family or people close to them as a meme in any way, shape, or form. And I'm trying to respect your family, your deceased loved ones. the people that no longer is here. In any way, shape, or form, I'm trying to glorify and vindicate what Popeyes did. In any way, shape, or form, I'm glorifying that he did what was right, and just because some facts got omitted and they deemed those kids as innocent, that they were innocent. No, I'm gonna give you guys the facts, the truth, and it might bother somebody. Best believe it, I'm not doing it to cause anybody pain or to glorify the crime or to make it seem less that they deserve it to die, because nobody deserves to die. So I want to make sure you guys understand that I'm not trying to make a joke out of this situation. I'm not trying to laugh about the situation. I'm not trying to hurt nobody or cause anybody any pain. But I will tell the story how it is, with the facts, with the paperwork that I've seen and I read. And I hope you guys can understand what I'm coming from. I'm just reporting all the facts as a journalist. I happen to have inside the scoop that some other people didn't have. Okay? So that night when that incident took place with Popeyes, Flaco, and Lonely Boy, that night they had shot one of the homeboys. So they had shot one of the homeboys. The Norteños came down and they shot one of the homeboys and basically had left them for dead. So the homeboys decide, you know what, we're not gonna leave it, we're not gonna let that go. We're gonna go and hit every neighborhood of the Norteños because we didn't know who was. We're gonna go hit everybody by themselves at the same time to teach them that you cannot come and touch one of us and get away with it. Now Popeyes was in the hood. He had just pulled up to the hood when the planning was going down. Flaco from Pasas happened to be there, and so was Lonely Boy. Okay. Now, Popeyes was the driver, Flaco was the passenger seat, and Lonely Boy was in the back. That's how it is, what is being said in the paperwork. That's how it was told to me by multiple sources, that's how it was. There was two guns in the car. I believe one of them was like a 9 or 45, I believe, and the other one was like a Tech 9 with a long clip or something like that. Now they drove up to Excelsior looking for Northerners, and the reason why I said Excelsior is because at that time we had noticed that Geneva, Excelsior, and 30 had started to grow a little bit more, and the Norteños were making a little bit more noises. They were coming down, doing their thing, and their names and their neighborhood kept coming up more often than LNS and Brian. So LNS had always been a factor, and I had told you guys that. I don't take that away. But at that time, on those specific years, the two hoods that was giving us a fucking shitload of problems were Bryan Street, 22nd and Bryan, and Persia, Valencia, Geneva, Madrid, all of those little areas that happen there. Excelsior district, basically. That's the district of Excelsior, right? We have kept hearing their neighborhood, the barrio, the park. Every time they will come down and shoot or stab a homie, we will hear Excelsior district on 33 Norteños and stuff like that, right? So we figure we gotta cut the snake out from underneath and pull the rug and let them fall back. And when I say we needed to do that, I'm not saying that to glorify or to high praise that. That's was my thinking back then when I was in the mix, when I was in the gambling, and when I was deep into it. I'm telling you guys as if I was there. Like I'm trying to picture, take you guys into a role where you guys can analyze and go with me and picture exactly how it was for us back then. And when I say us, MS, them guys, and that's why I phrase it that way. So I'm not trying to confuse you guys that I'm glorifying what happened, okay? So they have been driving around looking for Northerners for about an hour. So they called the homeboy that wasn't. You guys keep in mind that me and Slow Pain were like this. Me and Slow Pain was like, man, blood and water, thicker than blood. We were close. So Slow Pain had the hood at that time. So every time that we call her Slow Pain, sometimes he would put in speaker and I would hear a lot of the stuff. So they call him and tell him, bro, we can't, there's nothing out here. It looks like it's dead. So this fool might have been the ones that hit the homie. Because we knew that every time the Norteño used to come down and hit the homies, we always knew that them fools would go into hiding, that would come out for the day or two, because they knew our reaction time was like, our response time was like the very next day or the same night. And they had got used to us hitting them the same night the next day, so they started learning from that technique and saying, Charles, we're gonna stay posted.